Okay, people, I just gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it 1,000 about how I feel regarding Zoro's involvement in this whole war against Kaido in particular, especially after I read chapter 993, and we are going to get into it. But you would think, right? Because the Scabbards, the way it's been the last couple chapters at the very least, is they've gotten, for the most part, their revenge. Not quite just yet, because to them their revenge is taking Kaido's head, smashing this dude up, right? But they've already done probably the extent of what they're going to be capable of against Kaido. Like, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get the victory, which to a certain degree, rightfully so, just because, at the end of the day, it's about Luffy and the Straw Hats, which, don't get me wrong, again, I'm glad that they got their digs in, but who's going to be able to pierce that impenetrable scar on Kaido's body? And I just gotta keep it real. Like, everything we've seen, the build up and whatnot, it gotta be Zoro. Like, this is Zoro's arc. Wano Kuni, the land of the samurai. What is Zoro? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a swordsman and shit like that. And I feel as though the build up, the hockey advancement for his sword, how important and integral, especially like for the first actor or two of Wano, when he's collecting the swords and all that shit. Like, Zoro has been a very, very huge part of this arc. Obviously, we broke out into chaos and everything has been going mad of the last, I don't know, maybe 40 chapters, 30 chapters or some shit like that, where it hasn't been completely centered on Zoro, and I think that's purposeful. I think that's because it's leaving open, so when Zoro has that epic moment, the same way Oden was able to injure Kaido, Zoro's going to be the one. And if it ain't Zoro, to be honest with you, then there's only one other person that I could see doing it. Yeah, let's get into it though. That One Piece greatness! Oh boy, Kiku. No.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be though.
So One Piece 993, it opens up, and it was nice to see, to be honest with you. It gave me a little bit of optimistic feel. I don't know if this is the calm before the storm though. I don't know if this is Oda saying like, yeah, everything is going all jolly, because to see these desperate, destitute people that are just absolutely destroyed, and seeing them celebrating and having hope and talking about like, yeah, maybe right now what's going on is the Kozuki clan have returned and they're kicking Kaido's ass and they're beating Orochi and all that shit, and they're just having hope, and they're like, we wish this day would never end. It felt good. It felt like the polar opposite of what we've seen these people and what they felt like, what their mind states were, and just about everything to do with these people throughout the entirety of this arc of Wano Kuni. Just seeing them actually being embracing shit. Again, I feel like it's a trick to a certain degree. I feel like Oda is like making it like, everything's fine. And to be honest with you, if you think about it, like the end of the chapter alone probably disproved, and that's why Oda did that. It's like building up like, oh, things is going great, only for some really horrible shit to happen. No, Kiku, no. But again, it was a nice change of pace, because this has been crazy hectic, and yeah, this war against Kaido, fam, it's like, which, by the way, it wasn't 1,000% confirmed, because people still have the theories, but I just gotta note, what did happen? Hearing about Orochi, what happened? Like, so really, Orochi's dead? Like, Kaido just did that after all this build-up? I feel as though that's something else Oda might have waiting in the wings, Orochi's return, and he's not dead completely. I mean, it would kind of look a little bit like, Kaido, you couldn't kill Orochi, really? That little smug shit. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. The theory of him having 8 heads and all this shit makes me really question, like, so all this time, the flashbacks, the trickery, his involvement with Oden and them, he's really out for the count? Like, he really is dead? Like, well, I guess we gotta wait and see, right? But as it stands right now, at the very least, he is. Then we cut to apparently Game of Thrones, because Queen's Bullets is turning people into these ice onis, and I'm just kind of like, wow. We've entered the kingdom, fam. Just hopefully, this the finale of Wano doesn't end the way I've heard Game of Thrones' ending was, because yeah, that won't be bueno at all. But despite one of my main criticisms damn near of every One Piece arc, it's not the biggest criticism. It's not like, oh my god, it's destroying One Piece as we know it. It's a staple in One Piece of Luffy running, and I said this in the spoiler video, but I gotta say it again. I'm at the very least glad glad that he's running towards the threat. It's taking time. Mind you, we just seen that he's on the second basement level, so he's not even like, you know, reaching the roof or close to the roof yet, but at the very least we're getting some progression, and we see Luffy and Sanji, which, yeah, let's get some of the Straw Hats together. It's about that time to start regrouping and getting everybody wrapped up and working together, and I like the little bit of banter back and forth. Again, this has been really serious, and the chapter ends off on a very, very serious note, so any bits of comedy that you have, any fun shit, yeah, throw it at me, because this is some heavy shit. Because Sanji's kicking ass, he grabs Luffy, they run into this guy Briscola that has very, very interesting devil fruit ability of a fucking giant gorilla coming out of his hands and shit. I'm just like, yeah, I was in the same shock as them. Like, I think I've seen this before, but I was still kind of like, god damn, what an ability. And of course Sanji jumping in, which this was a Sanji chapter, despite the fact that I opened up this video talking about Zoro and like, yeah, Zoro's gonna be the one to take down Kaido. It's starting to be more and more apparent. Like, yo, Sanji did a thing in this chapter, blocking Briscola from Luffy, telling Luffy, yo, how many times we gotta tell you, fam, we need you for Kaido, conserve your energy, which I'm glad that, you know, and I think this is also an advancement on a lot of them. Like, early on in One Piece, let's just say, you know, we go a few hundred chapters back, not a few hundred, quite a few hundred chapters back, with Sanji, I've really been telling Luffy, and maybe I'm off, maybe I'm wrong, maybe somebody will pull up, yeah, actually chapter 222, Sanji, okay, you're right, but I feel as though it feels more just development and advancement with these characters of Sanji telling Luffy that, like, yo, we need you for the big baddie, like, instead of swinging around, let me handle it. And of course I get into a comedic argument of like, hey, you know, it'll take me 10 seconds, oh, that's too slow, I could do it in 3, like, that shit was hilarious. But again, it just shows the advancement and where they're at now of Sanji, like, understanding, yo, you're the guy that's gonna take out the big dog for us, stop fucking around, let me handle it. And then Jinbei showing up, and you can see that, like, Sanji's not feeling too comfortable about that. Like, fam, I've been with this dude 900 plus chapters, you just got on this ship, relax your big karate ass. Because Jinbei basically takes care of everyone around, and he's like, don't worry Luffy, I'll take you, Luffy-kun. I'm just like, Sanji had it. He did, okay? But at least Jinbei, which again, it just kind of felt like an awkward moment. Jinbei's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were gonna do it. Which again, yeah, please, like, keep all the Straw Hats together as we keep on progressing upward. I want to get them all rounded up, unless they're gonna have like a couple of 2v2s, which I'm still really hoping for, that page 1 and ulti fight versus Usopp and Nami. I want it so bad. I really want that one, like, just what that would do for their reputation, how the fandom is gonna look at them. Please, let's get that, and let's get Usopp and Nami getting a victory, like, please. But other than that, yeah, start getting the crew together and get to that rooftop, damn it. Then we got King ordering the Tobi Roppo, which, goddamn, leave this fucking kid alone already, come on. He orders the Tobi Roppo to murder Momonosuke. He says basically like, yo, we defeat, you know, we get rid of that kid, it's gonna destroy their morale, they're not gonna be able to fight that much, and we're gonna be able to win. So now the Tobi Roppo's whole thing is against getting Momonosuke, which originally wasn't their whole thing of like, hey, you'll get a reward if you get Yamato. So now they're just focusing laser beam vision at Momonosuke, which, come on, leave the kid alone. He just wants to rub his face in Nami's boobs. Whatever happened with that? But as the chapter progressed, things started getting serious because Shinobu gets pierced in the back by arrows, and I'm just like, yo, Yamato, you're standing right there, fam. How you letting this happen? I mean, shout outs to Shinobu. She's doing the thing. I mean, she's protecting Momonosuke. That's one of the most important things. Like, if all the Scabbards are up on the roof, at the very least, she's doing the best she can in order to, you know, to better the mission, whatever. But Yamato, what the fuck, yo? You're supposed to be Odin. You just told him, hey, I'm Odin. You just traumatized this poor kid even more. I don't think Odin would have allowed Shinobu to get, you know, arrows to the back. Just saying. But at the very least, from what we've seen, because I still don't rule out, you never fucking know, man. Pudding got me traumatized for life with One Piece, you know what I'm saying? But Yamato basically is facing off against the armored division with Sasaki and saying, no, I'm protecting them, this is what I'm doing. So for the time being, at the very least, she's seemingly making herself useful. I'm just curious how strong she is. Like, if you're Kaido's kid, I have huge expectations for how strong. Like, in my opinion, Sasaki and them shouldn't be much of a problem to her at all, but we gotta wait and see. Either way, I'm still like, I'm on the Yamato hype train for now. I'm not fan of why is Shinobu with arrows in your back, you're Odin, right? But Yeah. And fam, when we got to the fight on the rooftop again with Kaido and the Scabbards, and Kaido's just there laid the fuck out, and what the Scabbards are saying, I'm like, no, they're not the Scabbards, they're the Savagers, like, or just the Savages. I don't fucking know. They just on Savage mode up all day, every day right now for the goddamn Scabbards, because poor Kaido, yo. No, not poor Kaido, fucking, but yeah, it's just like, holy shit. They're like, sever his windpipe, stop his breathing. This battle ain't over till we take his fucking head. Like, oh shit, that's the spirit, you know what I'm saying? He did what he did, so you reap what you sow, Kaido, huh? Maybe I don't have no empathy for your ass. But then Kaido seemingly really isn't as injured as he led us to believe. He's like, yo, I could have let you killed me. He starts thinking back. He's like, yo, y'all not on that level. Y'all not on that Kozuki Oden level. Y'all dope and all that shit, but y'all still weren't even able to penetrate my wound. And he's like, whenever I felt, you know, this wound aching, I thought back, and he gets a flashback to Oden and shit like that, which really makes you wonder, like, if you had that much respect and you looked at him like, yo, he was one of the last samurai, real samurai ever, why'd you kill him like that? Why'd you double cross him with the little shit that you just seemingly snapped his neck and killed him, right? Like, I don't know, Kaido, he's a walking contradiction. But then again, like, this is a giant that is suicidal, so you just don't know what the fuck is going through. Maybe he suffers mood swings, I don't know. And he says they don't have enough power to reopen that wound. Allah, that it's going to be Zoro. Just gotta keep throwing that in there. It has to be, fam. It's wide open, like, especially right now. Like, I still think it's going to be a last minute thing, like, after Luffy has a very huge battle with Kaido, which, great, the Scabbards with their Sulong forms and everything have weakened Kaido at the very least, right? Like, he's not in tip-top condition anymore, so it'll give Luffy a little bit of an edge. And then right there, final blow at the last second, you know, the clock is about to strike 0, and bam, Zoro's going to pierce Kaido. But he sends invisible slashes as a desperate measure, trying to get rid of the Scabbards, and Kiku gets her arm and like her shoulder blown the fuck off in her samurai outfit and shit. I'm just like, God damn, yo. Okay, I see what time we on right now. We on that demon time. We on that dragon time. We on that holy shit time. One Piece chapter 993. Okay, like, it was a nice mix. Again, like I said, you needed those good vibes, even though it's kind of like a setup, like, of the beginning of the chapter. Like, hey, we're celebrating, hey, and then the jokes flying between Luffy and Sanji, like, 10 seconds, 3 seconds, Jinbei, and here's Kiku's fucking arm. There we go. Like, no. Although, to be fair, I honestly see a grim fate for the Scabbards. I don't know. I see, at the very least, a few of them. Kiku's arm might be the first of a few casualties. And, I mean, look, Shinobu getting pierced in the back by arrows. Like, shit is going down. Like, the opposition ain't down just yet. Curious what you guys thought about this chapter, though. For starters, how did you feel about Kiku getting her arm blown off? You think that's going to be a wrap for her or something there? Do you think the Scabbards, like, if any of the Scabbards are going to actually die, which ones would you see being the ones that bite the big one? Do you think Zoro's going to be the one to kill Kaido, seeming that the Scabbards can't do it? Like, even though they went in their Sulong form and everything, which the Sulong form has been, you know, shown to be just absolute monstrous. They whipped Jack's ass like he was fucking butter. Yeah, it's Zoro. Roronoa, baby. Zoro. Yeah. And your overall thoughts and expectations for One Piece chapter 994 and beyond. I'm just excited to see when we get 1,000. Before this year's up, Oda said we're gonna get 1,000, and maybe 1,000 will be the wrap up, and maybe 1,000 will be Zoro cutting him, and yeah, that'd be nice. Like, yeah. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And poor Kiku. I ain't gonna lie, like, I did not see that coming the way that chapter ended. Crazy.
It's nights like this, and times like this, that I can give another hit. But I've got this inside a switch, a natural